Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to talk about a couple interesting topics today. But before I get into this video any further, I want to apologize for any background noise you hear coming through the walls. Everybody's studying for finals, and I just got done studying for finals. I'm going to study again tomorrow because I have one exam left, and that is statistics. And I suck at statistics and taking statistic classes. Now I've done pretty good in the class up to now, but I'm very worried about the final and the fact that I may not graduate. I just need a D, I just need a 60, and I'll graduate next week. So I got my fingers crossed for Thursday at 7:30 in the morning, Standard Eastern Time, because if I do good in 2 hours, I will pass and finally graduate. So I'm hoping it works, and I think it definitely will, but only time shall tell. I'm counting on my lucky stars. But yes, today's topic that I'm going to be discussing about is about the different types of players in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and why we always need all these different parts of the, these different types of people, how can I say this? The different types of players, why they're all important to the community, and just some other key points I want to touch on, like, which I have written down here, I have some notes right here, how most of the community is casual or casual competitive players. And it's just not all built up of competitive players. So there's just different things I want to talk about. So this is going to be kind of a video talking about many different things. And I love to hear your comments and your thoughts on this video and just discussing this, because this is an open discussion that we're going to talk about today. That somebody actually brought up to me in a message, and I decided, hey, that's a great topic, thank you. But also I want to say this at the same time. I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to make anybody upset. That's not me. This is just something that I've observed, and this is from my experiences from being in the Yu-Gi-Oh community for over a decade now. Okay, and being a YouTuber that does Yu-Gi-Oh, you get to interact with a lot of different players out there, and you get to see how your videos are different from somebody else's, or somebody else's thoughts are different from your thoughts. You really get that, which is really interesting, really enlightening actually. So that's what this video is kind of about. I just want to put that stuff out there before we get any further into this video. So let's talk about really the three categories in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! The three different groups of players that are really out there. There's mainly three ones. You can put pretty much all the players out there into three categories. Three umbrella categories, so to speak. There's a lot of subcategories to each one of these three main categories, but let's just talk about them. You have your casual player, you have your your casual competitive player, and you have your strictly competitive player out there. Now let's talk about competitive players first off. People feel that these players are the players that think that you either play meta or you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh correctly. They only play meta decks. Granted, they may, once in a while try out with some rogue decks just for funsies, but they mainly stay strictly to the meta because they want to win. They practice a lot. They spend a lot of time, playing Yu-Gi-Oh. They want to be the best of the best with honors, sir. Yes, I'm quoting Will Smith from Men in Black. The best and the best with the honors, sir. I love that part of the movie. But yes, that's pretty much in a nutshell what competitive players are. Then you have your casual players, and the casual players, a lot of competitive players and casual players have bad blood. It's been a thing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh forever, and in any game, in any sport, it's always there. I've played many different sports like football and track, and from the casual runners, beside getting onto that, it's always in different categories, in different sports. People look down upon other groups. It's a thing. I don't know why. It's the thing though. And casual players are players that they're starting new at the game. They really just play decks that they just like. It doesn't matter. They may dabble in competitive decks, but they mainly just play whatever deck they have. They have some fun decks. They don't really invest in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! They play online a lot of the time, maybe for different reasons. But then there's also competitive players out there that just play strictly online as well. So that's really not a good category or thing to say, but it's a generalization, and I do apologize about it, but that's kind of what I've seen in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But beside the point, then you have, I think, your main group of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players out there. I think the casual base is very strong, and there's a lot of players out there that are casual. But I think just about the same equal base, and maybe a little bit smaller, is your casual competitive players, which I think majority of players out there in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fall into this category. And why is that? Because as Yu-Gi-Oh has been around for a long time, and I can attest to this firsthand, I'm almost 26 years old. All right, I play Yu-Gi-Oh. I still play Pokemon. I still watch Dragon Ball Z every Saturday morning on my phone. Well, my computer now, but whatever. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is we have other priorities in life. And the casual competitive player can play competitive decks. He has some money to burn. He can put into his hobby, which is Yu-Gi-Oh. But he doesn't want to dedicate all that time and effort to try, oh, this is how I can beat other deck, or this is another, invest all this money, drop $500 on a deck and just call it a day because you want to win a YCS type of deal in Teledad format, which was a thing. You don't need to do that. You'll play competitive decks. You'll play casual decks. You'll float back and forth. You've had experience in the game. You know how the game is played. You get it. You get it. You just get it. Pretty much, when to buy cards, when to sell cards. You just understand the game. And casual players, they have to work their way up. You have to earn your stripes, so to speak. You have to, like in the army, you're a private, then you're a corporal, then you're a sergeant, then you maybe become a lieutenant. You got to work your way up. You have to earn your stripes, so to speak. And a casual competitive player has earned his stripes, has earned his mark. He's been through the war. He knows what happens. He knows how this game is played. So yes, that's what a lot of players out there I feel like are a group of players are in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! They're casuals, they're the casual competitives. I feel like even though people would believe that the competitive players in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are the majority of players, I do not think this is true. Most players I have personally met, and I'm not trying to say, competitive players are a bunch of butt faces. That is not true. I've met many great competitive players out there in my time. And I have met a lot of them. Some of them are very good friends of mine and very close friends out there. And I love talking strategy with them. Talking about what type of cards you should run in the deck, some tech ideas that you may run, what's the proper ratio, of this card I should run, how does it work for you, many great minds could make a great deck, I guess you could say. On paper, make a good deck, so to speak. But yes, I have many good friends that are competitive players, and that's perfectly fine in my book. I don't mind that. I really don't care what type of player you are. Do you enjoy the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Then you're a friend of mine. Pretty much, that's my mentality. I really don't care. I don't hate nobody. But those are the different groups in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, I feel like. Now, moving on to that, each group in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh has its importance. I personally believe if it wasn't for casual players and casual competitive players, this game would not last very long, really. I don't feel like. You need them. You need players like that because they're the ones that keep the game interesting. They bring players back into the game. Why? If it wasn't for casual players, if it wasn't for nostalgia, you wouldn't be getting Blue Eye support, Dark Magician support, BLS support, Buster Blair support, Red Eyes support, Toon support, just cool decks you can play around with. Or you wouldn't be getting freaking Legacy support probably that much. It would just be competitive decks. And I think people will get sick and tired of playing competitive decks after 2-3 years. I think Yu-Gi-Oh would have died out. But it didn't, because casual players keep this game going. Competitive players keep it intriguing and interesting, I feel like. Yes, they may be a very boisterous group. They may try to make it seem like they're the most important, and there's always been bad blood, like I said before, between different groups of players, but I don't care at the end of the day, is what I'm trying to say. And you have to understand that everybody contributes to this game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In some way, shape, or form. If it wasn't for this group, then this part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Wouldn't exist. If it wasn't for the competitive players, we would not have YCSs, we would not have regionals, we would not have competitive events to gauge how good decks are, to even make money off this game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Mind you, if you're a vendor, really, you wouldn't be able to do that if there probably was just casual players. And casual players help keep competitive players interested because they can help find tech choices. A casual competitive player can say, I remember this card I used to use back in the day in this little wonky deck I made. Try it out, maybe it'll be helpful. And it does sometimes work, and it does sometimes be good. So you just have to, each group contributes in their own way to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Really. No group is better than the other, I feel like, at the end of the day. And I think, personally, and somebody could maybe tell me if I'm wrong or not, I feel like a majority of the players out in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are casuals or casual competitive. And you know, I get people get sick of playing meta decks, but if you want to do good in an event, you gotta learn the meta. And who can help you out that? The competitive player. No matter what you think of him, he can help you, and vice versa. You know, it's a circle pretty much. Everybody helps each other. It's like kind of a food chain. Everything works out nicely. You know, recycling, I guess you could say. It's kind of like that circle in recycling. When you recycle plastic, it just, everybody helps each other out. But yeah, those are just some thoughts I wanted to talk about, guys. I apologize if this is not a really in-depth video, but it's something that I really wanted to talk about because at the end of the day, at the end of the golden rainbow, or at the end, when you finally get to Cosmo Town, so to speak, I'm quoting the Wizard of Oz, but yes, when you finally get to Cosmo Town, everybody loves the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? We all enjoy this game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're watching this video, I bet you enjoy the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In some way, shape, or form. Correct? And we all have a vested interest in this game. So we should work together to make this game greater and better. No matter what people say about the community. And this is literally what I'm trying to get to here at the end of this golden rainbow here. No matter what people think about the community, is it toxic, is it bad, whatever. We all have a vested interest, and we should all try to make this game a little bit better. Using our own set of skills, our own knowledge of the game. We should put our biases aside of each other and work to make this community better. I've seen a lot of fighting over the years on YouTube, in real life, whatever. And it's perfectly fine if you're joking around with your buddies or your friends. I mean, I do it all the time. Hey, scrub, you suck! Yeah, we say that all the time to our buddies, and it's fine. It's no big problem. It's no problem calling your buddy who's playing, you know, Ojamas a scrub. You're playing with him. You're having fun. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, really. Are you having fun playing this game? That's the main thing. If you're having fun, no matter how you play the game, then you're playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Correctly. If you're enjoying it, great. That's the point of Yu-Gi-Oh! It brings us together. It creates friendships that can last for a long time. And I've met a lot of good friends in this game of Yu-Gi-Oh! From my friends Will, Alex, Reggie, Suji, you know, Adam. Those guys, you know, I've met a lot of good friends in this game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And if it wasn't for Yu-Gi-Oh! I probably never would have met them, really. It was because of Yu-Gi-Oh! That they brought me into their life, and they really helped me out, and they've been great friends ever since. Even though I don't talk to them all right now, I still consider them very close friends. So we all have a vested interest, and we should all work together to make this community better. No matter if you think the community's bad right now or whatever, I could care less right now. I'm enjoying this game. I'm enjoying my life right now. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll just say this to the competitive players out there, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not the be-all, end-all thing. And whoever thinks they're a high, this is a thing that I probably will get some flack for, and I'll take it. I'll take it like a man. You know, but no matter who you are, we all put on the same type of pants, girls, females, whatever. We're all humans, I hope. Unless you're an alien. But literally, that's on a serious note. We all play this game because we enjoy the game. And we should all get along because we enjoy the game, no matter what you think. And as long as you're having fun in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, then you're doing it right. And respect other people's way they play it. And believe me, they may know something that you do not know and could actually help you out to better yourself in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Believe me, the most worst player in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! May have something that can contribute to you to make you a better player or contribute to a deck. He may have something he has learned to help you better. So respect it. And always, guys, try to make this community better. I think I have a great subscriber base, but that's beside the point. So that's just some words to the wise. And I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to make it. But till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.